Okay. Alright. Ryan here. I'm just going to talk about my mental illness and a little bit about comic books and a little bit about reading in general and memory. Memory in terms of schizophrenia. I mean, I guess I'll open this by starting on a high note. I was going to say I had a really kick-ass weekend. Saturday, I went to an evening with Kevin Smith, and he put on a really good show. Granted, I don't really remember a lot of it because of my memory problems, but yeah, I remember it being really good. And I remember like little bits and pieces, and I remember it being a good show. I laughed a lot, and I had a really good time. It even had a couple tearjerker moments, I recall. And it was overall an awesome show. I recommend it. I recommend seeing the Kevin Smith Evening with Kevin Smith show, the Q&A one in particular. If you ever get a chance to, it's a good show. So yeah, and on Sunday I went to the Comic-Con at Mohegan Sun, and I had a blast. I got a picture with the comic book men. That's gonna be the thumbnail I'm gonna use for this video. Yeah, it was cool. And then like when I went to the website like a couple days before the show, or like a week before the show, I went to the Terrificon website page, and they were saying like the comic book men wouldn't be there on Sunday, which I bought my ticket for, and I was really disappointed. They said they wouldn't be there because they had like a last minute taping of their show. I was like, damn it! But when I got there, I saw they were there, and I was like, I talked to Ming a little bit, and I was like, I thought you guys had a taping, you wouldn't be here, and I guess he said it kind of fell out, and I didn't really say anything else, but I was just thinking like, yes, so lucky, but it was so cool, and yeah, so I got a picture with them, I got a bunch of comic books, and I got a bunch of like crappy comic books, I guess you'd say, like one of these vendors was selling like they like these comic books, one for $1, and you buy 20, you get 20 free, so I got like 40 comics for $20, and there were some gems in there, like I got like Bob's Burgers #1, and I got like the first 4 issues of the Kevin Smith's Green Hornet, and some random Beavis and Bud comic, and a bunch of random like #1s from various series, just like none like a lot of series you probably wouldn't even hear of, but I mean it's always good to have the #1s because the #1s you can like at least start the story and see what it's kind of about. It's kind of cool. So yeah, and I've been and well, I mentioned earlier, my memory isn't the greatest, and like I don't really remember like things that really happened like day to day and whatnot, and like even when I watch movies and TV shows, and I don't really remember. I have a like a recall problem about what happened. Like a movie I saw before my mental illness manifested. I can still remember like many quotes and different scenes from like one movie or something, but like I'm sure like the new Star Wars or whatever I saw in theaters, like I barely remember any of it. Of course I remember that one scene because everybody talks about that one scene that happens with a certain character death or whatever, but yeah, I'm not gonna do a spoiler, but if you haven't seen it by now, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but yeah, you probably have seen it online already. And yeah, so it's kind of hard to recall TV shows and movies I watch, which is it's kind of like a blessing in a way too, because like when I rewatch something, it's almost like seeing it for the first time almost. But yeah, it's still kind of depressing. And one thing I've been in terms of comics or whatever, like I used to read them like a while ago when I was a little younger, and I just kind of stopped reading them or whatever. But because I guess I didn't have a lot of money or whatever, and I still don't have a lot of money. But I'm able to budget more now and work it out more, and I'm really into it. And it's like the way comics are, the way the issues are, that it works out. So like it takes me about a good half hour, 40 minutes, which is about my time I can really like focus on like any one thing, and it works out really well. And it's awesome like just like to read and look at the visuals and stuff. I really enjoyed the comics now, so it's one of my main reading things. I still read books, and I do okay despite my memory problems. I do okay with books because everything's segmented into chapters, and with books even though my memory recalls isn't the greatest, I'm decent. I think the word is chunking. Like I can skim through it, pick out pieces of words, and like hot sentences or whatever, and just kind of like get a general thing about what happened before, so I can continue the story. So I like reading a lot, and I like comic books especially now because the way it works out, it's really cool. It's when I read comics, like I get really into it. It's like it's great. It's amazing. But yeah, so I was gonna say, yeah, as I said before, that like in terms of memory, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse because you see it's like seeing things for the first time, watching things for the first time, reading things for the first time. So I guess I could save money by not having to buy a lot of new ones because I can just enjoy what I have. And yeah, and then it's great. Kevin Smith was great, as I said before. Had a really good weekend. Yeah, and yeah, so yeah. Yeah. Another thing I've been thinking about a lot was the whole cognition thing, because like in terms of my mental illness, I don't get a lot of I don't get I don't, well, at least not anymore. I mean, at one point I did when I was like peaking or whatever, but I don't hear voices. I don't get any of that stuff. Like one of the things that really affect me a lot are like the negative symptoms, like especially the cognitive ones, because like as I said, memory's terrible, recollection's terrible. I'm slower at things I used to do. Like sometimes it's depressing when I think about like how I think about how I was like before everything happened. Like I used to be like really quick witted, and I'm not as quick witted anymore. I remember like being able to make people laugh easier, and like I just can't really do it much anymore. And yeah, and like when and I'm seeing, well, what really brought up this like thinking process to me was is that I'm gonna see I'm gonna see my friends and a couple of friends from high school, and I see one of them like at least a couple times a year, but one of them I haven't seen in like probably like since my second break, and I've been a little worse off since my second break in terms of like cognition and stuff, and it's kind of depressing because like they because like my mental illness is like you're not born with it, like it's in there somewhere genetically, but I mean yeah, it's like but it doesn't like really show or manifest until later in life. And at least like where I am, or what happened to me was like right after high school, right before college. It was when I had my first break, and it's hard like seeing people from high school like around town and stuff, cause like they know you as one person, like it's like, especially people like you weren't really like close friends with, like just like acquaintances or whatever, and sometimes it's hard talking to them because like I myself know I'm very different than what I used to be, and I know they have a they kind of they don't see me very often, and they probably still remember me from high school as like the funny guy, do a bunch of like sketches on the morning show. He just a fun guy all around. I mean, I'm still a pretty fun guy, I think, but yeah, just like a good guy overall, and like used to be really or not. I'm still smart, but I mean, I've but it takes me longer to like do mental calculations and stuff. Like the other day, uh my mom my mother, who like who's like the mathematics might not be a strong suit. Like I was really strong in math in like high school especially and stuff, and like even just growing up I loved math. I used to be really quick, you know, and she beat me like a mental simple method or addition equation, like in terms of like how much something costed or something. I forgot what it was, but it was like a simple like 4 times 18, and I was like, oh, you doing? And she just said 72. I'm like, dang, mom, you beat me. But yeah, I used to be quick, and yeah, it's just kind of depressing to look back. Like I was class president for a bit. Like I wasn't like popular, but like everyone like kind of regarded me as a good person, or I'm still a good person, but yeah, they regard me as a good person. They knew I was pretty smart, like top 12, 13% of the class upon graduation. Yeah, it's just kind of depressing, like to think about what I used to be and what I am now. But I mean, I just gotta make the most of it. Shit happens, and I just gotta enjoy what I can.